Let me tell you about the time I moved to France. It was quite the experience. I got accepted to the teaching assistant program in France, which means I would move to France to teach. And so I booked my flight. I decided to go the cheaper route. I would fly to Iceland, to Reykjavik, and then have a layover and then go to Paris. So I get on my plane. The first layover was, I believe, in DC, and then I would board another plane to go to Reykjavik. So I got on the plane in DC, and I always book aisle seats because I don't like being between people I don't know. So I'm sitting in my aisle seat. There was a child and a woman next to me, and a man walks up and he tells me to move. And I said, "No, sir, this is my spot." I show him on my ticket, and he said, "Well, that's my wife and my child, and I need to sit with them." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I booked an aisle seat for a reason." And he had booked the seat in the middle, because on big planes there's a row over here, a row in the middle, and a row on the side. And he had booked a seat right in the middle of the middle aisle. There's no way I'm doing that. So I said, "No, you're gonna have to figure something out because I'm not moving. I don't want to be between people I don't know." So he gets all upset. He goes and gets the stewardess, and he's being rude to her. And she said, "Ma'am, come with me." And I was like, "Oh, I booked the seat. Like, why are you taking me out of my seat?" And she goes, "Oh no, you're gonna go to business class. It's fine. We're just gonna move you up here." And then the guy goes, "Oh, well, I'll go to business class. I don't need to sit with my wife and child. I'll go to business class." And she said, "No, you made it very clear that you needed to sit with your wife and your child. So I'm gonna take this young lady up there because she was nice, and that's just how we're gonna do it." So I go up to business class. I have the whole row to myself. Don't have anyone sitting next to me. They're nice, big, comfy seats. And so I fly to Reykjavik, and then I have a 4-hour layover in the middle of the night, and I hop on my plane to get to Paris. And when I get there, I'm waiting for my luggage, and it's not coming on the carousel. And so I wait and I wait, and I had a train to catch to go, to get down to Isuda, where I was going to be living. And so I go to the desk and I explain to them the situation. At that time, my French was not the best because I had just graduated with my degree in French, and I had conversation classes, but it wasn't like interacting with real French people. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time understanding them, and I don't know the word for luggage, and I'm just kind of explaining as best as I can. They understood what I was trying to get at, and they asked me if I knew anybody that I could call that could translate for me so we could figure it out faster. And luckily, Donna, the lady that I was going to stay with until I got my apartment, gave me her cell phone number before I moved. So I gave them her phone number. They called her, and they explained to her that my luggage was still in the United States because they had figured out what exactly I was looking for. And they said, your luggage is still in the United States. And I was like, well, that's not good. But I've got to go catch my train, and we'll figure it out later. And so I gave them, or they took Donna's phone number, and kept it so they could call her whenever my luggage was finally coming in. And it actually was really lucky for me to have lost my luggage because I had 2 big bags that were 50 pounds. And I go to the train, and as I said in another video, the train does not wait for you. And I don't know how I would have gotten 2 bags onto the train. So I get on the train, I fall asleep, a guy wakes me up asking for my ticket. I'm groggy and have no clue where I am, and then I finally realize, oh, I'm on the train, I'm in France. So I give him my ticket, I go, I get off the train, I catch a van that was going to take me to Isuda, and then I get to Isuda, and and I stay with Donna and Jacques for 2 weeks, I believe. My luggage still hadn't come. I was waiting for them to figure out my apartment situation because the apartments that the teachers stay in are at the high school that I was teaching at, but the principal did not want me staying in those apartments because apparently the Scottish girl that did the program before me destroyed the apartment. She threw beer bottles onto the roof because it was the top floor apartment, and the roof of the school was right next to the window of the top floor apartment. And so she would throw the beer bottles down there. She didn't respect the apartment. They had to fix a lot after she left. So they didn't want to let me stay there because they had a bad experience. And eventually they realized that I was going to be respectful of the apartment. And so I got to move in there. The luggage took 2 weeks to get there. I get a call, and I got there before school started, so I'm all alone in these apartments. And the guy says, I have your luggage. So I go down. I was on, I think it was the 4th floor. And I go down all the stairs. I meet him, and he has one bag for me. And I said, no, I have 2 bags. Could you check again and see if you have another bag in there? And he said, nope, I only have 1 bag. I said, well, can you call someone? Because I have 2 bags, because I packed 2 bags because I'm here for a year. And, you know, I've got a bunch of stuff. And the bag that he delivered was my bag full of shoes. So I didn't have any clothing to wear. I mean, my carry-on that I brought with me, I had extra clothes. And I was wearing flip-flops. I didn't put any extra shoes in there. But I did have a couple of extra outfits. But I still want my clothes. And he was like, nope, that's all I've got. And I mean, they still have the other bag at the airport, and I don't know why they didn't send it with that one. And he said, well, we'll figure it out. So he leaves, and I start crying, and I haul my 50-pound bag up all the stairs to my apartment. And my other bag came about a week later, and so then I got to carry that one up, of course. And I was having meltdowns because I was lonely. I didn't have anyone in the apartment, and I didn't have internet because the school, since they were out, they didn't have the internet set up or anything. And so I would go downtown because the tourist building had free Wi-Fi, so I would Skype my mom and cry almost every day. But living in France was a really good experience. Just moving there was kind of a disaster. But that's what I've got today.